So recently I picked up through video games from a guy, and the Golden Tee, he said, didn't work. He said you would turn it on, the sound would come on, the top would light up, but it didn't. You couldn't play it because the screen wouldn't come on. So he said he called Arcade One up. They walked him through a bunch of tests or something, and they said it was bad. It's like $90 or 80 some dollars for a PCB. So basically, I got this for free with buying the Ninja Turtle and the Buck Hunter. I had to totally disassemble this one to fit it in the vehicle because I couldn't fit 3 in there. I also had to take this off of this unit, which was fine because these things were disgusting inside. They were in an attached one-car garage with a raw concrete floor, open walls, and no HVAC, completely exposed to the horrible humidity here in New Jersey. This was full of crud. All of them were full of crud. They were just nasty inside. So when I came home, I disassembled. This was already disassembled. I cleaned the pieces as I brought them in. I wiped them down with cleaning wipes, vacuumed everything. I disassembled the base so I could get to everything. Same thing. And these were full of spider webs and spider egg sacs and just you name it. It was probably in there and all that crud. So this one also got fully disassembled when it came in the house, along with the base, and fully cleaned. So did the Buck Hunter. But let me get back to this. So this didn't work. What I ended up doing was when I put it all together, I turned it on. The light came on. I heard the Arcade One Up splash screen noise, and you could hear the music playing. But obviously this didn't work. So knowing I was going to have to get a PCB anyway with this running, I opened the back and I undid the screw on the left side. Not the left side from here, but the left side if you're facing inside the back of the machine. And what I did was I took and I bent the whole PCB box over to the right, and then I reached up inside it with a finger. I was holding the box with my one hand, and I used a finger, and I was pushing on the connectors that come out of the monitor and go into that PCB. And my kid was watching in front of it, and the screen, he's like, screen's on, it's working. Okay, great. I went to bend it back. He said the screen went out. So I bent it back to where I had it and pushed on the connectors again, and the screen came back on. So I just left it bent open. That way it's away from the heat of the monitor anyway. And we've been playing it ever since. No problems. So that was a really easy fix. I'm not sure if that's common, but if you have a Golden Tee or even any of these other ones where the monitor goes out but you can hear the sound, I think I'd try doing that before I go trying to buy a new PCB, or getting rid of it is thinking it's crap. So anyway, something I noticed, and I haven't seen this on any other Arcade One Up machine, is there was this connector in there with a black wire. They screwed to the back of the monitor, to the metal case on the back of the monitor. Well, the trackball is crappy, like it skips and stuff. So I decided today I would take it apart. You can see there's a whole bunch of crud inside this, and this is just a cover for the control deck. I found that this is what was plugged in over there to that other connector. So this was coming out of the control deck. It was tied in a knot around this stud on the encoder, and then it was run over to the trackball, sharing a screw with this ground wire, which runs around into this board here. And then the other screw also has a ground wire that runs into this board, but it's not grounded to this ground that's running to the monitor. So that kind of sort of doesn't make sense why you would ground this that one thing. I don't even understand what this is in here for. The guy said he didn't do it, and I think he said he bought this brand new. So if the factory did that, that is weird. So anyway, you take these two screws out. They were both really loose anyway. There's a screw here you take out. This just lifts off. This is the easiest one I've ever taken apart. Not like the ones on like Tempest and Simpsons and Centipede, stuff like that, where it's glued to this control deck. You pry it off and then everything else. So you can see there's crud all inside here, even little spider webs. The ball is filthy, so it'll get cleaned while it's out. And then you look down inside here, and so where they have those screws with that copper tape, the tape is touching this, which is touching the ball bearing on the end of this roller, and the same thing over here. It kind of doesn't make sense, especially since you're only grounding out one. You're not grounding out both. So I'm not quite sure who did this or why. You can see there's crud, nastiness on the rollers. So these rollers will get pulled out one at a time and cleaned. I will clean all down inside here, get all that crud out. You do not need to lubricate the rollers, because as you can see by this line in the middle of each roller, that's the only part of the roller that the ball contacts. So if you put something on the roller, it's going to get on the ball. It's going to make the roller not spin, because you'll remove the friction between the ball and the roller, and you're going to get stuff all over your hands because it's going to get on the ball as you're moving it. So don't bother trying to lubricate anything in here. These look like they're sealed ball bearings anyway, so there's no point in even trying to lubricate anything. Just be very careful taking any of this apart and putting it back together, because these are Hall effect switches. It's basically the black piece down in there reads the holes in this wheel as it spins, and that's how these work. So there's no gears, there's no nothing like that. It's literally a Hall effect switch. It's just reading the holes in this wheel as this wheel spins, and that's how it works. So anyway, I hope you guys find this useful. I don't know about this wire. I mean, I'll put it back, but I've never seen that before, especially using like off-the-shelf connectors inside something like this. That's, if it came from the factory like that, I find that really odd. So I don't know what's going on here. I guess it can't hurt to have that grounded, since it is, these are ground wires going into these boards anyway. I don't know if it's for electrical noise, maybe. I just don't know. If somebody wants to answer in the comments, or if somebody else has seen this on other units. This is the first Golden Tee I've taken apart, so I don't know if this is common for even a Golden Tee. But until next time, I hope you guys find something in this video useful. Yes, I know my camera sucks, and like and subscribe.